Here we are. It is Tantra Tuesday. It's a little me time today. I have both my freezing cold smoothie. I am so cold right now, so I also made a cup of tea, which is nice and warm. I think smoothies for me are a way of like self-care. You know, there's like a lot of good stuff in here. I put my greens and the turmeric and all that stuff in there. It's like super self-care. And I was actually curious to know how you guys are doing with self-care lately. I think it's a really big topic and we haven't really been talking about it much. And I was thinking maybe we should talk about self-care. So good morning, somebody's joined me. So today's awesome topic is how to get more sex right now. So I think this is a really fun topic. And of course it comes back to all the stuff that I'm usually talking about, which is self-love and self-care. And good morning, Valerie. I'm glad you're with me. Anybody else who's here wants to say hi? Good morning. I think I see Reagan. So here we go. It's been forever since the last time you had sex. And you know you want it, and you know he wants it, but it just doesn't ever seem to work out at the right time. And you both have too much going on, and by the time you want it, it's too late. He's too tired, and you have a headache. P.S. When you have a headache, if you have sex, it actually makes your headache go away. So we won't tell the men that, but just so you know, it's a terrible excuse. Okay, so you've been rejected way too many times. As we know, rejection is like literally like getting your arm cut off, right? And you miss the passion and the spark, and you wish you had it with your partner. Hey guys, how's the reception? Is it working? If it starts going fuzzy, let me know. I don't know what that's all about. I upgraded my Wi-Fi. It's supposed to be amazing, but I think it's my amazing vibrational energy. That's what I make up. All right, so you want to get that old spark back. It's fuzzy right now, Reagan. Gosh darn it. I'm sorry about that, guys. Maybe if I sit back a little. Does that help? A lot of times that will help. Like when we go to Disney, when we go to Disney World, I think I told you guys this story, and they use those iPads and stuff. I have to like literally back up. Not fuzzy. All right, here we go. So, all right. So who can relate to this topic, right? I mean, how many of us, okay, good. How many of us have been like, man, you know, I've just been rejected too many times. I don't want to do it again. It's too risky to go in. And, you know, instead of having this relationship that's full of passion and full of awesomeness and like where you run to him when he walks in the door. Do you guys remember that? You know, at the beginning where you like run in to your man and you jump on him because you can't wait to see him. And then something happens along the way where that spark goes away. And so today we're going to talk about how to get that spark back. This is something you can do all the time, every day, 7 tips. And this is how it works. It's called Get Your Heart On. Your heart, like your heart, you know, right here, not the other one. So actually that happens too. When you get your heart open, that's when really fun things also happen. Let me turn this off so it doesn't distract me because I texted like 1,000 people this morning. Okay. So if you have friends that you know, get your heart on. You like that, yeah? So if you have friends that you know that they're struggling with their sex life, because, you know, sometimes us ladies, we talk to each other about that fun stuff. Invite them in. There's a little button that says invite your friends. Invite them in. Let's get them in here and let's get them joining us. Okay. So as always, just I can see the comments today. It's all working fantastically. So if you have comments, throw them in there and I'll answer them. And let's get started with our 7 tips for how to get sex right now. Okay. So number 1, ready for number 1? Open your heart. Okay, open your heart. That sounds easy, right? Okay, do it right now. Open your heart. Can you feel that it's closed or can you feel that it's open? Are you able to feel that? Can you feel when your heart's open or when your heart is closed down? Like think about your relationship in this moment right now. And if you're not in one, think about the last one you were in and think about a moment when you know your heart was closed. Or think about a moment when you know your heart was open. Can you guys feel that? Can you feel it in your body? So I actually was wondering if maybe you guys would like me to do like a heart opening meditation, where we can walk through and learn how to open our hearts up. It's when my heart is open, I feel it in my gut. Yes, we do. We feel it. It's so good, right? You can feel it. All right, Reagan says she can feel it. Whoever else is here with us, can you feel it when your heart is open? Do you know how to get your heart open? So number one, how to get your heart on. Obviously, you have to be able to get your heart open to get your heart on. You know, your heart on. Isn't that fun? I love that. I think it's so funny. Okay, so number two, clearly communicate. So it's like, well, what does clearly communicating have anything to do with my sex life? I do hear chakra bowl. What does that mean? You hear you use a chakra bowl? Or you want me to use a chakra bowl and do a meditation for you? Okay, so clearly communicate. What does communicate have anything at all to do with having sex right now? Okay, well, I'll tell you. A lot of times our relationships are screwed up because of a lack of good communication. So take a minute and think about the little stuff that drives you bonkers, like the little stuff that just drives you absolutely crazy. What is he doing that's making you mad? Right? Yes, use a chakra bowl. Okay. I think Aubrey got all the good chakra bowls. So I guess I get to get one. So here's an example for me. So this is an example of just crazy communication. I'm going to have fun with this one here. And then we're going to actually, this one moves into number 3, so I'm going to show you how to do that too. So my boyfriend Mike knows that it's really helpful to buy me a plane ticket. I don't really like doing anything that has to do with computers. As you can see, like Facebook is about as good as it gets for me. I'm not going to go on a tangent. So he called and he said, okay, baby, you know, in order for me to buy you this plane ticket, I need your driver's license and I need your TSA number and I need da-da-da-da. And he's like, and why don't you, I thought he was going to put it on his credit card and I was going to pay him back when I got there. It's kind of what we talked about earlier. But when I'm on the phone with him, he's like, okay, and also just give me your credit card. And I was like, fine. Because, you know, but that's what we do. We do what they ask, right? So I figured he had a good reason for asking me for my credit card. So I gave him my credit card. And then later, when we were talking, like probably 5 hours later, I was like, hey, by the way, just so you know, like I had $300 of cash I was going to give you. You know, I've been saving it. And he was like, well, why didn't I just put it on my credit card then? And I was like, well, because you asked me for my credit card and you said you wanted to put it on mine, right? So, I mean, it's such a little simple misunderstanding. But for some people, you know, if I hadn't told him later, hey, I had the $300 of cash to give you, then he wouldn't have said, well, why did we do, like we wouldn't have even had that conversation. So I think there's a lot of women, actually, I know for a fact there's a lot of women who are afraid to say things like, hey, I have $300. And I mean, even like in the moment I trusted him, so I was just like, okay, he knows what he's doing, I'm just going to let him do it. But then later I mentioned it because I'm not afraid to mention that kind of stuff. And it's pretty funny because, you know, I could have, and in the moment it's interesting too, because in the moment when he asked me for my credit card, I thought, well, what's the difference? I have the $300, I'll just put it in the bank instead of giving it to him, right? So like I was fine with doing it. Either way, it didn't make a difference to me in that moment, but maybe for somebody else, like it would have meant something if he had put it on the credit card, and then, you know, maybe I would have been bitter and resentful, and then I never would have said anything. And so that's what I'm talking about. Little tiny miscommunications can like lead to this bitterness and this resentment, and you could make up shit. You could be like, well, why aren't you taking care of me? Like, which is so ridiculous because he's like getting my plane ticket. But people do this stuff. They're like, well, he didn't take care of me. He didn't put it on his credit card, and I had the money to pay him back. I don't know. People go, whatever. You guys understand what I'm saying, right? You're getting this? Because it happens. The little teeny tiny, I mean, you could have arguments about the toothpaste cap. Little tiny things can drive people just absolutely insane sometimes. I remember, okay, I won't say where, but I remember a couple who the husband used to look in the mirror a lot, and the wife would come, it'd like drive her crazy. Like, him looking in the mirror drove her crazy. Like, what is that all about? I have no idea. But these are like the little things. So, you know, just being able to communicate about this stuff. And so number 3 is clearing the space. Because if you have a lack of communication in number two, if number one, your heart is closed and you don't feel safe and trusting and open with your partner, okay, that's not going to work. And number two, if you have all this little crap between you, oh, Reagan, you're saying things, that's not going to work either. And then number three, how do you clear the space? We're going to talk about that in just a second. Little misunderstandings, tiny, tiny arguments can end a relationship. It is so true. Inner child issues with the mirror. Right, probably. No, I think it was that he actually had some insecurity going on about, you know, not feeling attractive enough. And instead of her like being like, babe, you're so attractive, I love how you look, you know, instead she just was like, why does he have to look at himself all the time? You know, he's just so narcissistic and self-centered, and she made up all kinds of stuff about it. So it's and that's her stuff. That's not even his stuff, that's her stuff, but she put it in the middle of the relationship. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, you do something and I don't like it, and then I actually put the crap in the middle of the relationship. Does that make sense? Is that making sense what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by like clear communication and opening your heart. Okay, first open your heart, because you don't have to communicate about everything. A lot of this work is like, if I'm putting crap in the middle, I get to do a clearing. I get to be the one to take the crap out. Okay, so what does that mean, taking the crap out? What does it mean to clear the space? What does it even look like to clear the space? What does it feel like? Okay, so think about it right now. Think about the little stuff from number two that's happening for you right now. The toothpaste lid, or he's looking in the mirror too much, or he's using your credit card when you wanted him to use his and pay him back, or whatever, the little stuff, and how irritated it's making you. Okay, then ask yourself, do you want it there? Do you want that shit, right? I'm trying not to cuss, I can't help it. Do you want that stuff in the middle of you guys? Probably the answer is no. Of course not. I don't want that in the middle of there. Do you want it gone? You know, if you want it gone and you want that connection, then you get to be the one to clear the space. And you get to see how much of the junk you're sticking in the space is yours, and you get to take ownership of it. So here's an example. This just happened like a couple of days ago, and it came to mind when I was writing an outline for this. So my husband, my ex-husband and I, we have the schedule, right? So this poor guy, I'm a scheduler. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I think women are schedulers, and I think men are more like, I'm gonna follow the bear up the mountain and then kill it and eat it and bring it home, you know? Like they're not so scheduled, but I think we're like really scheduled, because we're like, you know what, on the summer solstice, let's get together with the rest of the family. I mean, I'm always talking in terms of like tribal culture, you know, like caveman. But I think naturally women schedule. Okay, so I obviously had to do the schedule. He hates the schedule. So when we were married, we fought about the schedule. Okay, so we still have to schedule because we still share children. He gets them Monday, Tuesday, I get them Wednesday, Thursday. We split them every other weekend. I have 2 weekends in a row that I need to be gone, blah, blah, blah. I brought up a bunch of crap, okay? So it goes back to the old conversation. Oh, Heather, you're so selfish and you don't ever consider me, and why are you always asking me to do things when you don't take care of me and you don't plan time in the schedule for me, and you know? But this time we did a little differently, and this time I decided to take my crap out of the middle and create space for him so that he could express himself. So I somehow enrolled him in, I know how, but I enrolled him in expressing himself. I repeated back what he said so that he felt like he was understood. And then it was really cute because he was like, I hate doing this. I hate this. And I said, well, I love this. I said, this is way better than, you know, when you're mad and resentful and then just pissed off. And he goes, yeah, he goes, this isn't so bad. This isn't like holding all that anger and resentment in and feeling like I'm taken advantage of and that you don't care, you know. And then we talked about, he actually was open to looking at, I said, you know, I have feedback for you. Are you open to hearing it? And he said, yeah. And I said, you know, I think you get to, I trust that you're going to say no when I ask you for things that you can't do. So like, I need you to do that for me. And that was really cool to be able to ask for that and for him to be like, yeah, you're right. You know, a lot of this is me just not being able to say no. And I actually got to give him some other really cool feedback too. So this is what it means to clear the space. You know, be enrolling enough that your partner, whether it's your parenting partner or your lover or whoever, wants to be in the relationship with you. So just to clarify, I don't want to have sex with my ex-husband. But I just thought it was a really good example of how to clear the space between. Okay, number 4, how to have sex right now, how to get it whenever you want it. Be seen and get naked. Okay, so this doesn't mean get like naked, like take all your clothes off, get naked. It means get vulnerable. It means be seen. It means share the hard stuff. No pun intended. And sometimes it takes a coach to teach you how to be able to do this, you know. Let's see, what did you say? Oh, we're still with the, okay. So, if you have any questions or comments, you know, throw them in there. So, oh, okay, so here's an example. So I recently worked with this couple on, man, it was like some like betrayal and lack of trust. And I mean, it was a gigantic misunderstanding, right? They both completely got triggered, and in being triggered, both completely overreacted and did behaviors that was really inappropriate. And they made up all kinds of crap about one another, and they were in the middle of stewing about it when they came in to see me, right? Like they hadn't even talked about it yet. So the beauty and the magic happened in the moment when they were both able to see each other. You guys know what I mean when I say that? Like, going back to number 1, get your heart open. Like, we got them both to open their hearts, share, and be seen. And I mean, the magic just, boom, it happened right in that moment. It was so cool. You know, so what does it mean to be seen? It means be the you that he fell in love with. Don't be the you that you think he wants you to be. Like, we do that, women, we do. I don't know why we do. I mean, I do know why, but also it's like, why do we do that? You know? So we don't want to do that. I want to be me, because that's what my partner actually really loves. And the moment that I try to be something that he wants, it's actually quite repulsive. It's like, even when you're doing like sexy time, you know, he would much rather see me in my own pleasure than see me trying to do some performance for him that I think he likes. Does that make sense? You guys understand what I'm saying? Is this all clear? So, all right. So number 4 is let him see you, and number 5 is you get to see him. So what does this mean? It's a little different, right? Because you can't be like, okay, it's your turn to get vulnerable. They don't even know what that means, right? So how do we get them vulnerable? We make the nest. Okay, so be the safe space. But you have to like be it. You can't do a safe space. Like, you're not doing anything. It's something that happens inside of you. It can come out in your behavior, like in your words or in your tone. But first and foremost, it starts inside of you. So you get to find the part of him that you trust, and you get to lean into that. Okay, so find the part you love. Find the part of him that's like whole underneath all of his struggles and his challenges. You know, what I do is I find his little boy, and I allow that like natural, loving, supportive, caring, mothering energy come out of me, so I can fall in love with the little boy, because when I do that, then there's no judgment. Be careful here, because I have had couples that I've worked with, and I've said to her, like, see his little boy. And, you know, like, sometimes when our men are going through really, really tough challenges and struggles, and you become a safe place, they get really vulnerable, and it can be like it can freak you out if you're not ready. If you're a woman who thinks that men need to be strong all the time, this whole thing isn't going to work for you. Frankly, I don't know what will work for you, because this is the way that I have figured out to make it work. I think that there are definitely couples who just like ignore things and pretend like things are fine, and but really underneath they know that they're not happy, and they're in a lot of denial. And sometimes that's like a happy marriage, but that's not the kind of happy marriage that I'm creating with my clients. The kind of happy marriage I'm creating with my clients is like, you get to put your judgment down, and you get to accept your partner for all that he is, and you get to accept yourself for all that you are, and you get to be an offering, which is number 6. But hang on, I'm not there yet. So when I see here's an example. So when I see Mike's little boy, I just instantly fall in love with the man. You know, like if I see a man who's struggling and whining, he doesn't whine very much, but like sometimes he gets like confused, right? And if I'm looking at this man who's confused, it's like, come on, dude, get your act together. But when I shift my perspective and I look at the little boy and I remember all of the things that he's been through. Oh, Valerie, you say you think that that's just playing nice, not love. What does that mean? What's just playing nice and not love? So anyway, I was saying you want to, you know, when I look at his little boy inside, then like boom, instantly all of the stuff that's irritating or annoying about him, all the judgment that I have, I drop it. When you get along. Right. Oh yeah, you're talking about the old way of having a good relationship. Right? Yeah, that doesn't work for me either, and that's not what I'm teaching. And if you just want to have a relationship where you shove everything under the carpet, I am not the coach for you, you know? Like I want people to, inside of me there's an inner child who was, not anymore because I've taken really good care of her, but she was so wounded and so abandoned. And to know that you can create that kind of connection and closeness in a relationship, it's one of the most fulfilling things. That's what I'm teaching. I want that for everybody. So number 6, how to get it right now, be an offering. Okay, so this doesn't mean like make a move, you know? It means be sexuality. Okay, this is a little hard to describe. So it's like be your true self. Okay, we're gonna get a little sexy here, right? Like when you're at that point where you're like right on the verge of an orgasm and your whole body's like, oh, there's so much pleasure. And, you know, we're working towards getting our hearts open so much. You know, in Tantra, we're pulling that sexual energy up and into our hearts, and we're becoming an offering to God. Really, like that's what it's all about. And for some people, that's so, what's the word? Blasphemous. And I don't mean to be blasphemous in any way, because you're like, Christ is my buddy. If you guys saw my Facebook Live and my personal timeline yesterday, like he's holding me in his arms. And so we have this belief in our culture that sex and God don't go together, which is the furthest thing from the truth. How do you think you got here? You know, your parents had sex, God was there, and boom, you were made. So learning how to bring that sexual energy up and out. You know, when you study wealthy people, I don't know if you study wealthy people, I study wealthy people, they say that you want to use your sexual energy and your charisma. And at first I was like, what the heck does that mean? And the more I practice it and the more I embody that like sensuality and sexuality and pleasure inside of myself, and I'm an expression of that, and I'm in touch with my own body and my own orgasm, that comes up and out. It's a natural way of being. You just can't even help being sexy when you're free in the bedroom. You can't help it. It's, I remember seeing this one woman, it was like one of my favorite things I ever saw. She does this affirmations in the morning where she goes, yes, yes, yes. And as she's doing that, she's thinking of her goals for the month, you know, but it's all this like, yes, like sexual energy. And there's a vibration to that. You know, there's like a really strong vibrational energy to your sexual energy. And the cool thing about being a woman is you have access to that shit stuff all the time. Your body was made to move and like be juicy, and you know, men are hard and they don't know how to move, you know. It's women are so beautiful, we come by that naturally, and I think in our culture we have shut it down because we want to be like men. But I really want to reclaim all of that, because I really think that being an offering, like a sexual offering, is actually a gift. You know, we all know that men respond to sex. why is that? Well, I'm like totally not reading my notes now, so I'm going to have to go over that in just a minute. But I think that men have an offering like from their second chakra, right? Their offering comes between their legs. Our offering comes from our heart, right? Like, this is how women are an offering. It's like, come into me, come into my heart, right? And what's cool is, our legs literally have an opening for them to put their gift, right? So their offering between the legs, and our offering is heart energy. So, if you've got a man and a woman, his offering is going this way, you're bringing it in, and your offering is coming out of the heart, and he's bringing it in his heart. So it's circular, it goes around and around, it's like, I don't know, I'm not very good at doing that, but you guys get what I'm saying? Is that making sense? Yeah, you guys with me? So it's circular, right? So it's coming out of my heart, going into his heart. That's actually how you get your heart on, you get your heart on, right? So my heart energy flows out into his heart. He's filled up with, like, so the man takes it in and he's like, oh, like his body just goes, wow, and literally, the magic wand gets lit up, and then you are allowing that to come into you. So this is the way it works for women. You're allowing it to come in between your legs and up and out through your heart, and you're offering this way, and he's offering that way, right? It's the same way, right? But it's just, this is my offering, this is his offering. Am I making sense? Are you guys with me? Is everybody, you guys here? Yes? It's good stuff? All right, so we want to be, and when you're this offering of sexuality, it's not just sexuality, because what's sexy is your hope, right? Like your love and your grace and your generosity and your fun and your playfulness and your surrender and your vulnerability, and like whatever is you authentically, that's your offering. And like, orgasm comes when you are completely relaxed in your own body with who you are. And that's what it means to be an offering, like right at the verge of orgasm. Like if you could live in that place all of the time, where pleasure is just filling you up and you are an offering to your man, you're an offering to the world, this heart energy is just like, expanding everywhere. That's being an offering. That's being who you are. You get to be that for your man. You get to own it. You get to own the you that he fell in love with, because that is freaking sexy to him, and offer him what you have. Offer it openly. Like, if you were, let's see, what does it say? If you were opening your legs and offering it with your hands in your heart. Okay, so like this. So like imagine you have your legs open and you're an offering, how that feels. And then imagine that you could hold that feeling in your hand and give it to your spouse, your partner. Like I want you to feel what that feels like. Are you guys feeling this? Are you guys with me? You guys are quiet, so I don't know if you're with me. Am I making sense? This is new for a lot of people. A lot of my clients, when I start talking like this, they're like, keep talking, what are you saying? So I just want to make sure this is landing. You guys are getting what I'm saying. If it's not landing or you have any questions, put it in the comment box, because even later I will come back and read the comments and answer your questions. So, I mean, we could go on and on about what it means to be an offering. It means like the way that you eat your dinner. If you eat your dinner in your sexual feminine essence, like you taste everything and you see how beautiful the food is, and like you can't help but be like, right? And like this is what men are like, oh, they love that. So, and share, share what it tastes like in your words, share the food. And so I think the biggest way to be an offering and to like give yourself to your partner is with eye gazing, with eye contact. So how often are you spending time like really truly looking at each other and allowing him to see inside of you? not with just his body, because once you allow him to see inside of you, his body will respond and also want to be inside of you. So this is how you get your heart on, like boom, like right there. If you can be an offering in such a way that all of that other stuff we talked about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of that other stuff that we talked about is clear. And you can allow yourself to be in this way because you're clear and you've handled your stuff. And you do eye gazing and you're an offering in love of that heart energy. I'm telling you, it is on like Donkey Kong, all right? You are the aphrodisiac in that moment. You become irresistible. And you can't even stop yourself from loving him. And so this isn't rejection. When you have the intention of, I want to have sex with you, like that's not going to work. When you have the intention of, I want to be an offering to you, I want to give you my whole body, my whole heart, and everything that I am, I want to give you my authentic self, then you're an offering, and then that's when you get your heart on, okay? So looking deeply in his eyes, hold him, hold his gaze. Don't let go. How often do you hold his gaze and don't let go, and also be an offering of all of that love? You guys, this is juicy stuff. I'm giving you my best stuff. Are you guys liking this? So, I mean, I'm telling you, this stuff happens instantly. They cannot resist your love. You know, women's bodies exude out sex through the heart chakra. This is number 7. We already talked about it. So heart chakra goes in his heart. Second chakra goes in your second chakra. And you have this like amazing, beautiful, vibrational energy thing going on that has nothing to do with sex. But let me tell you, everything to do with sex. The magic of eye contact. Yes, how often are you guys doing eye contact with your spouses? Is it like every day, every morning, every night when he comes home? Do not miss out on this gift. Do not miss it. Your life will be so much more full. And Peggy, if you're just joining us, you want to watch all the other 5 or 6, you missed like 5 or 6 other awesome things. I'm going to recap in just a second. But I want to know if you guys want, I guess what would the homework is? Oh, you will. Okay, good. And thanks for joining us. I'm so glad you're here. So I'm gonna get into the homework in just a minute. Let me recap all the pointers really quickly. So number 1, you're opening your heart. Number 2, you're communicating clearly. Number 3, make sure the space is clear. Number 4, you be seen. Number 5, you get to see him, make the nest. Number 6, be an offering. And number 7, the energy exchange of men and women with the heart chakra and the second chakra. Make it go round and round, girl. And boom, you got instant heart on. Heart on. I love that so much. It's so fun. All right, so if you can't figure out how to do this, if all the stuff that I said today was like, what the hell is she talking about? Reach out to me. Come work with me. I want to show you. Let's get the passion back. Let's get instant heart-ons going on. Let's get the kind of love and intimacy that our parents didn't even know existed going on, because you deserve it, and I deserve it, and the world deserves it. And imagine what this world would look like. It makes me cry to think about. Imagine what the world will look like when couples are so close and so intimate and can really see each other, right? Oh, I cannot wait to see what that world looks like, and it's going to happen in this lifetime with your help, because you're going to share my video and you're going to invite your friends into the group, because you know just as well as I do that this information is super important and super valid. So, all right, a little bit of homework. I don't know, what do you guys want? There's like, you have like 7 options here, you know? I think probably clearing is the most important thing. Learning how to open your heart and clearing. So whichever one of those you struggle with the most, if you don't know how to open your heart, get in touch with me. And if you don't know how to do a clearing, also get in touch with me. We probably could do more videos on that. That's definitely stuff that I do in coaching. So just reach out to me if you want a little info on that. I'd be happy to share it with you. All right, ladies, so you know that I work one-on-one with guiding women into this beautiful self-love and this awesome open sex life. Let's share. Let's get everybody knowing about this information. It's actually every day I'm uploading it to YouTube on the Beautifully Authentic YouTube channel. So if you want to find the videos there, like this video will be up by the end of the night. So you can also share just directly from there. And she is amazing. Who's amazing? Who's amazing? The comments come too late. I never know what you guys are talking about. What did I miss? What did I say? Okay, someone's amazing. So, oh, me. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, if you want to share your personal story about, you know, what's working for you, I would love that. Even just like in the group, not even in the video. I mean, the stuff, guys, the stuff I'm doing with my clients is just so cool. And I wish I could tell you like every day all the really cool stuff that I'm doing, but I don't want to break anybody's confidentiality. So that's why I'm doing the videos. And I'm like, look, this is the cool stuff you can learn. And so if you're like, man, I really want to learn this for me and not just listen to Heather go blah, 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 because trust me, when we're doing like one-on-one work, I'm not going blah, 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 blah. You're the one figuring out what's going on for you, and you're clearing your stuff out of the way, and we are working on what your blocks are, and we are getting rid of them so that you can have this stuff, so that it's not just this theory and concept in your mind. I did that for way too many years. I read way too many books and spent way too much time thinking that I was learning something, but just becoming righteous and superior. That doesn't work. You need a coach to help you figure out how to actually implement all of this stuff. And I'm telling you guys, I have spent lots and lots of money on this. Like probably if I had to add it up, oh my God, I don't even know what the math is. I mean, I got grad school and so many personal development courses and so many personal coaches. I mean, at least $70,000. Oh, probably $140,000, right, of information that I have learned. I've invested in myself personally to learn this stuff. So I can teach it to you. It's not going to cost you $140,000. Like, it's really cheap compared to that. So if you want some help, please reach out to me. I'm definitely here. If you're struggling to know how to run to the door and jump on him because you're afraid of getting rejected or whatever it is, please reach out to me because you deserve it. All right, guys. I will be seeing you tomorrow, and we're going to talk about, being control. There's like in relationships, there's a controlling person, and when there's a controlling person, there's a passive aggressive person. So we're going to talk about the dynamics of that super fun relationship tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you guys for that. Have an awesome, awesome day.